Hey everybody, today we are starting a job. We're going to use the little BX tractor and redo a lawn for somebody. And what we're going to do right now is I'm in the process of taking the fence down so I can get in there. I thought I might fit through the gate. It fits through the gate, but with like a half an inch, and I don't want to do that all day long. So here we are taking the fence down. But I just thought I'd do an opening to this, show you what we're doing. Brought the BX in the small dump trailer. We're gonna haul off probably one load of stuff today. I'm gonna scrape off some of the moss, and there's some little stumps in one corner that he wants to dig out. He wants to put a garden in here. That's why we're leaving the fence up. He bought the property, I think, last year, and just a horrible lawn back here, and they want to keep this area for themselves. So over here we're gonna dig this down. There was some type of tree growing in here, I don't know, but there's a couple small stumps. I'm pretty sure I can dig with the BX while I'm here. If not, I'm gonna probably bring the stump grinder. I don't want to bring my excavator here to dig out a handful of stumps. So, but I may have to. We'll see if that will dig out with my little BX or not. Sometimes those little stumps surprise you, the root system that's on them. But he wants to put a vegetable garden in here next year, so he wants me to dig this down and put like 1.5 feet of that loom. Other than that, we're going to be scraping off some of the moss, burying this leach field better. It's all sand, that's why nothing's overgrown here. Plus, I think the people he bought this from had dogs. But like I said, we're unbolting everything, trying to get this down without wrecking it. And I'm going to take these ties off, and I'm hoping I can get that to lay over enough so I can sneak through this corner. I just want to show the BX is tailing these up. You just never know, but sometimes you'll be surprised the root system comes up like that. So again, I'm using this little BX tractor, and you wouldn't believe the other guys I know up here in business look at something like this and think, oh, that what a pain in the butt. But like, this little tractor just saved me from coming up here with a stump grinder or hauling my excavator up. Or I do want to get one of these with a small backhoe on it, I think, in the next couple of years. And this is the reason why. There really is a use for like every size tractor I could have. The newer ones, I think, are a couple inches wider than this. Like I said, this fit through that gate. It only fit through it with about 1/2 inch to, go. So I didn't want to deal with that all day, so I took the fence down. But these small tractors have their place. That's what I try to tell people all the time. I just want to show the hole that I got to drive up out of here. I'm probably going to have to go up over this hill like 25 times to get the stuff out of here I want to haul out before I put the loom in. But again, I just want to show there's a use for these little tractors. I stopped to get a coffee on the way here, and someone's like, what are you doing with that little tractor? And I'm like, you'd be surprised how much you use one if you bought one. If I would have known how well this was going to work out, I probably would have bought one 10 years before I did. also want to show most of your Kubotas have 3-speed transmissions. That's why I like them. The little BXs do only have a low and high, but that low, this thing will climb a mountain. I just want to point that out. If you're digging, like trying to peel those little stumps up out, I put it in the low, and then the high is just a happy medium. It actually works real well like mowing. You can mow with this full speed with that 5-foot mowing deck. I got this just about dug out. A few more scoops on this end, but then I just went up. He's got rock walls all over this property. I just stole enough rock. I'm gonna make a little planting area for him to do his I guess he wants to do a small vegetable garden. He gave me an idea what he wanted before he left. Right now this is just a camp to him. I think it's going to be his house in a few more years once he moves up here full time, but next summer he wants to definitely have tomato plants, stuff like that, so I'm going to give him a small area. Originally he just said grass up to it, but I think where this is a little bit of a hillside, I think it's just going to be a weeded up mess if we're not careful how we do it. So I'm just going to throw these rocks in. They're all over the place. It's going to take me an extra half hour or so, but I want him to be happy when he comes up. I know if this was my yard, I'd want it boarded, so I just thought I'd take a shot where we're at. Yeah, I just want to show little things I do with my company. I went home, got rid of a load of the crap I dug out, and just grabbed half a yard of gravel, just to help this guy out a little bit. Coming in off this road's pretty rough. I know going out with my truck, and I know he has a motorcycle, so that must be interesting, but that little gesture there he'll like, and it's just not a big deal to do. I was going home anyways, and I was right next to the gravel pile. I just want to show, I probably need about 8 more yards of that out back, but I want to show where we're at. What I did is I moved the vent so it's not in the middle of his lawn, 8-10 feet out in his lawn. I just gotta get a Schedule 40 adapter for that lighter pipe. Probably gonna extend that up just above the fence, and I'm gonna paint it black so it blends in a little bit better. Just added that. There's some little things like that you can do. He'll be pretty impressed that that's not something he doesn't have to mow around anymore. Plus, we're taking the curse off that leach field on that end. There was a big dip on each side. It's got a little bit better sweep. It's still going to have a little bit of a sweep to it on both sides, but nothing like it was. And we'll get a little more loom back here. We got that garden area for next year for him. That's plenty deep enough to put tomato plants, pepper plants, whatever he's thinking of doing. And if he wants to extend it this way, he can. He just thought where it was inside the fenced area, it'd be a good place to put a garden. I agree. Deer ain't going to bother it if they're not going to jump that fence. So, but I'm calling it quits for today. There's a dust ball here. I wet the ground down a couple times with the hose, but I just rinsed this off, and my filter was pretty plugged, so I'm taking it home with me. I'm pretty sure I got one at home, but I always try to rinse this thing off pretty good. When this really pulls the dust in. These little 3-cylinder Kubotas they put on a generator the same way. If you're in a dusty environment, they fill right up. But they'll pull. The air they pull for that little motor is unreal. So I rinse that off. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I got a filter at home, so I'm gonna bring one in the morning. And the dust isn't gonna be a problem now because most of it's covered, but getting this covered as much as I have. We figured we're gonna have a little bit of loom left over anyways for next year. He wants to do some stuff up here. I may be doing a retaining wall here in the spring. I'm going to suggest using rock walls because he's got them all over this property that are really like useless. They're in the middle of his property. Nothing that's going to ever be put back together. You'll see on the edge of the driveway, they're everywhere. But he owns a pretty good chunk of land here, and all through the woods is rock walls that he could take apart. But he may want something a little bit neater looking than that. I know he's got some timbers in the front that he did. He might like that look, but just figured I'd show where we're at, and we'll get back to it tomorrow. I also want to show, like I said, bringing that yard of material took the curse off this edge of the road, so he can come in and out of here a lot easier, especially on a motorcycle. I'm going to give him a price on doing the whole driveway, see if he's interested. If he is, we'll probably sneak back up here next week or something. I actually got a big gravel pile. I'd like to get rid of some. I just had a bunch of stuff hauled in from another contractor. I'm going to screen, and I think it's going to make a good 3/4 gravel. But I just thought I'd show that. A little gesture like that makes a big difference. Other than that, we'll get back to it tomorrow. I used that little drag on the back of the BX. And right now we just got to neaten up some of the corners and figure out where I'm going to break a line off on that stone. He's got plans. I don't know what they were, but he said something not to get too worried about that. But like I said, over here it's a lot smoother than it was, and believe it or not, there's still a sweep to that because we got to let that water that comes down off the roof go out that end. This side here I filled in pretty good. I mean, there's probably 12-13 inches of loom to get that little sweep off. For whatever reason, that end of the leach field was really high in the center. Kind of made it useless out here for grandkids or something to play around. So this will neaten it up a little bit. I just thought I'd take a shot where we're at this point. I also took that pipe and extended it, dug down, put a 90 on it and extended it. It's just a vent pipe for the leach field, and painted it semi-gloss black so it kind of blends into that fence line, so he doesn't have to worry about mowing around it. And it's just, I don't know why they don't do that. You're talking, that was 5.5 feet. I think I had to put a piece of pipe on to get it to an edge like that. I mean, the fence, that fence probably wasn't here when they did the leach field in the house new, but stuff like that just irritates me. I know it would have bugged me to leave that in the center. So we're going to smooth things up a little bit more and go from there. All right, we're going to do a final raking. Like I said, I think this is beyond what he was thinking it was going to be. He was surprised I wanted so much loom. So I don't know where this came from, but it seems pretty good. I am going to put some lime to it, and then I use starter fertilizer on it. I just want to show some of the products that I use. This is Easy Straw seeding mulch with tack in it. This company also makes it with the seed in it. It's just hard to get this time of year. I'm trying to stock up. There's a couple different places that carry this, and I'm trying to build up just in case there's a shortage of it next year. There is times, like I said, hate bringing that COVID word up, but during COVID this was very difficult to find. I went pretty far away to get it. One day one of the guys that has it had a bunch of it, 2 or 3 skids come in, and I told him he couldn't hold it, but I went right out and got a couple skids of it a few years ago. But now when I see it, I try to grab it if I'm in a pickup truck. This is another one that you can get, Pennington's seeding straw with Tactifier in it. They're both about the same quality wise. I do think the Easy Straw is a little bit better quality. They shred it better and it really sticks. I mean, if you're sweating putting it down, it sticks all over you. So I think there's a little more Tactifier in it. Same idea as people that do the hydroseeding. That mulch stuff they use, it's normally paper. Sometimes it's straw like this, real fine, but a lot of times it's a paper product. And you just stick it down, and then the birds don't get in and eat the seed all up. And it lets it germinate a lot better too once you soak it. This holds the water a lot longer. But I just thought I'd show some of the products I use. I don't normally tell people the seeds and stuff I use. I got my little magic mix that seems to work this good in this part of New England. But I just thought I'd show. We're getting ready to put the fence back up. Another thing I'm going to say, that guys that are getting into this, always try to keep a pair of vice grips like that. And this is a gear wrench set. That's a 1/4 inch drive set. The advantage, most of them are missing, like, it's a weird thing when you buy the cheaper sets, they'll be missing certain sizes, and they'll only go up to like 7/16. This goes all the way up to 9/16 and 15 millimeter, which is unusual on a small set. But I try to keep one of those in my dump truck in my pickup, and a couple pair of pliers. I normally have a needle nose type little pair of vice grips too, but I'm glad I had that because I would have never got that. It worked out good to get the wire tie part of this off. It's like an aluminum, they wrapped the fence in, but we'll get this back together and go from there. That leach field really stuck up out of the ground. The vent pipe was just stupid. So little things like that, I know I can do it. Some of the homeowners can't. And like I said, I'll rake this out a little bit smoother, and I think you'll be happy with it. I'm gonna lime it, rake that in a little bit with this leaf rake. Then we'll put some starter fertilizer and seed, rake that in once, and then I do it one more time. But I think this is going to be good. So we'll get to it. We're just soaking this straw down. You get that tack sticky once and it mats this right down. And I don't know if I showed earlier, but that black pipe, now it's dried semi-gloss black. It's mixed right into the fence line. So I just thought I'd take a shot. We get the straw down, just wetting it down real good. It's going to be a day or so before he gets up here, but he said after that he's up here for a few weeks, so he's going to water it. I guess he's got some stuff, going to put some sprinklers on timers. But alright, I just thought I'd take a shot where we're at. Another thing I want to show what I do. There was a big brush pile here and leaves. I hauled off one load. The other load I kind of just made, of what was left of it, I just made disappear. But I think he'll be happy when he comes and sees this. And like I said, this was pretty rough before. And then his buddy that dropped this off, I dropped it off on top of a brush pile. But I cleaned up as much of that as I could, just be a nice guy. But he's got other work here he wants me to do too. I want to make sure he calls me back. But I just wanted to show how I leave a job site. And like I said, little things like that pipe, nothing to do with this job, but I kind of thought of it the day I priced it. So, and I am going to shut the hose off while I'm thinking about it, because I didn't last night. But I think he'll be happy with that. That'll grow in nice. What I did with that too is, I've said it before, and I think in some of my videos, but like a lot of guys that do hydro seeding will seed it the old-fashioned way, just put it out with a broadcaster, rake it in with a leaf rake. It's what they call under-over. But I do it, I'll put seed down, I rake it in with a leaf rake, and then I seed it again, and then I put the straw down. But a lot of guys call it under, the actual term for it's under-over seeding, but you'll end up with a lot better grass. I promise you that will come in better than anybody that hydro seeds. And I know there's guys that probably watch my videos that hydro seed and be like, eh, but in my area, man, the last 2 or 3 years, all the hydro seeding I've seen getting done, they're cutting so many corners to compete with each other. I'm thinking about getting a hydro seeder, but I'm going to get one, and my thing is I'm going to do my work with it. If someone wants me to hydro seed, I'm going to say this is the way I do it. It's probably going to be more money than the other guys. If you want it done right, this is what it's going to cost. And if they don't want to do it, I don't care. I'm going to buy a small one just for my own use anyway. It's probably like a 350 gallon one or something like that. Which would be all you'd need for stuff like this. It's about as big as I want to do anymore anyway, so I'm getting older. Like I'll probably do 3 lawns like this a summer, and you'll have a summer once in a while where you'll do 8 or 10 of them, but very seldom. So most people now, my landscape business is, people are trying to do stuff so they don't have grass to maintain. I take grass out all the time, and they want stuff that they can come up and enjoy their camp and not be working the whole weekend that they're fighting to get up here. But I just thought I'd show you. Like I said, this is how I leave a job site. That's cleaner than it was when I started. So fence is back up. He'll be happy. He thought he was going to have to hire a fence guy to take that down. I'm like, no, I'll handle it. We'll call it here. I just wanted to show people some other thing we do and how I do it. Some people might agree, not agree. I don't know. I know it works. 25 years of doing it. I probably will end up with a hydro seeder the next few years. They make the small 250 gallon, 350 gallon ones now. I'll run into a deal sooner or later on one, and it's just hard to compete with people. I mean, there's so many people that got hydro seeders up in my area right now. No one's doing it right because of that. They're trying to come in cheaper than the other guy to get to work. But the last 5 years, I've done a lot of lawn repairs. People are just unhappy with the hydro seeding they're getting done. And I think a lot of it, they're just cheating it, trying to be the cheapest guy. It's like lawn care in general. You get into an area where there's 10 guys trying to mow an area. You normally find out at the end of the summer you're doing it for nothing. You're better off having 10 good paying people than 30 or 40 people that you're just barely making enough money to make it worthwhile. I got out of the lawn care now, and I'm glad I did. That's something in this area. The last 5 years up here, there's so many landscape companies that started. A lot of older gentlemen, a little older than me, they retired. Let's say they're 60. 55, 60, they retired from the job they hated, and now they're mowing grass a little bit. But they don't know how to price stuff, so it's hard to compete with them guys. And that's another reason I got out of it, to be honest with you. My area got smothered with people, and the price just kept coming down. And don't get me wrong, you can run in, like I got customers that would, if I called tomorrow and said, hey, I'm going to stop mowing again, they'd hire me back in a heartbeat, even though it was more money. A lot of my customers, like I said, they were happy with the work you did. I did a lot of push mowing where a lot of guys use zero turns, and they bridge in areas where the yards are get kind of rolling hills. People will pay more money to get it done better, I guess you'd say. But I just don't have time anymore. But anyways, I'm going to call this video here, and it's just nothing we do. And if you like my content, please like and subscribe. This is how we're going to grow the channel. And thanks for watching.